Part 1. The reality no one prepares you for. Watching someone you love grow old is one of life's most beautiful and heartbreaking journeys. But what happens when the signs begin to change? When the small things, the way they speak, the way they move, the light in their eyes, start telling a story you don't want to hear. The truth is, our elderly loved ones often show us when their time is growing short. Not with words, but with subtle shifts in their body, their mind, and their spirit. These signs are quiet, easy to miss if you're not looking, but once you see them, you can't unsee them. This isn't about fear. It's about love. It's about being present, being prepared, and making every moment count when it matters most. Studies show that most families only recognize these signs in the final days or weeks, leaving them wishing they had more time to say what needed to be said, to do what needed to be done. But you don't have to be one of them. Over the next few minutes, we'll walk through the 5 most common signs that an elderly loved one may be entering their final chapter. These aren't guesses or old wives' tales. They're well-documented patterns observed by doctors, nurses, and caregivers who've been there. Some of these signs will surprise you. Some may bring tears. But all of them will help you provide the kind of love and comfort your loved one deserves when the time comes, because in the end, this isn't just about understanding the signs, it's about making sure no one has to face them alone. Let's begin with the first and most heartbreaking sign, the slow retreat from the world. Part 2. The slow retreat from the world. One of the first and most subtle signs is withdrawal. You might notice your loved one losing interest in things that once brought them joy, a favorite TV show left unwatched, a beloved hobby abandoned, or conversations that grow shorter and less frequent. At first, it's easy to explain away. Maybe they're tired. Maybe they're in a mood. But over time, the pattern becomes clearer. They stop wanting visitors. They no longer ask about family news. They seem to be pulling inward, as if preparing for a long journey. This isn't depression, though it can look similar. It's something deeper, a natural turning away from the outside world as the body begins its quiet transition. Research shows this withdrawal often happens months before the end, as energy fades and the focus shifts inward. You may notice less engagement in conversation, more time spent resting or with eyes closed. A shift toward memories of the distant past, decreased interest in news, current events, or future plans. This is the hardest part for families, watching someone who was once vibrant and present slowly detach. But it's important to understand, this withdrawal isn't rejection. It's not that they don't love you anymore. Their world is simply becoming smaller, softer, quieter. What you can do, sit with them without pressure to talk, hold their hand. Touch often speaks louder than words. Let them guide the interaction. Some days they may want to chat, others they may prefer silence. Reminisce about happy memories if they're open to it. This first sign teaches us one of life's most difficult but beautiful lessons. Sometimes love means being present without demanding anything in return. Next, we'll discuss the physical changes that often accompany this emotional withdrawal, the body's silent surrender. Part 3. The body's silent surrender. As the days pass, you begin noticing changes no doctor warned you about. Their hands feel different when you hold them, the skin thinner, almost translucent, like delicate paper. Their wedding ring spins loosely on a finger that once kept it snug. These physical transformations speak volumes about what's happening beneath the surface. The most telling signs often appear gradually. The weight loss mystery. They're eating, but the clothes hang differently. That favorite sweater now drowns their frame. Even with regular meals, the body stops processing nutrients the same way. What's happening? Their system is conserving energy for only the most essential functions. The sleep shift. Where they once napped briefly, they now sleep most of the day. You might worry they're depressed, but this is different. It's as if each task, eating, talking, even watching TV, requires tremendous effort. Their exhausted body demands more rest as it works harder just to maintain basic functions. The cooling extremities. Their hands and feet often feel cool to the touch now, even in warm rooms. Circulation slows, prioritizing vital organs. You might notice bluish or mottled skin on their arms and legs, the body's natural response to decreased blood flow. The changed posture. Shoulders that once stood proud now slump forward. Head tilts slightly as neck muscles weaken. When sitting, they seem to sink deeper into chairs. These aren't signs of giving up, it's the body's honest response to gravity's increasing pull on aging bones and muscles. What you're really witnessing, every system is slowing down with profound intelligence. The digestive system doesn't need as much fuel. The heart beats fewer times per day. Lungs require less air. This isn't failure, it's the body's remarkable adaptation to life's natural progression. How to respond with love, keep them comfortable with soft blankets and warm socks, offer smaller, more frequent meals of their favorite foods, let them rest when needed without guilt, gently massage hands and feet with unscented lotion. Tomorrow's visit might reveal new changes. Next, we'll discuss the eating shifts that often worry families most, and what they truly mean. Part 4, when eating becomes different. The dinner table tells stories words cannot. Where they once cleaned their plate, now food sits untouched. Favorite dishes no longer tempt. The act of eating itself seems to require tremendous effort. This shift often worries families most, but understanding it changes everything. The subtle changes: the bite count drops, they take 2 bites instead of 10. Push food around the plate. Claim they'll eat later. This isn't stubbornness, their body genuinely needs less fuel as metabolism slows. Texture troubles begin, toast becomes too difficult. Meat seems too heavy. They gravitate toward pudding, ice cream, broth. The body instinctively seeks what's easiest to process as swallowing coordination decreases. The clock means nothing. Breakfast at noon. Soup at bedtime. Their internal rhythms shift, making traditional meal times irrelevant. Forcing schedules often backfires. Why this happens: taste buds fade. Food literally loses its appeal, digestion slows, fullness comes quickly, energy conservation, chewing/swallowing require effort, the body preserves for other functions. What not to do: bargain, just 3 more bites, guilt, I worked hard on this, assume discomfort means hunger. How to nourish differently: try, taste teasers, small spoons of flavorful things, lemon sorbet, chocolate syrup, make meals social, your company matters. More than consumption: hydrate creatively, ice chips, popsicles, spray bottles for mouth moisture, honor their cues. When they turn their head, mealtime is done. The hardest truth: at some point, the body knows food is no longer for living, but for comfort. A single spoon of ice cream shared with laughter may nourish the soul more than any full meal ever could. Next, we'll discuss the confusing mental shifts that often accompany these physical changes, and how to navigate them with grace. Part 5, the changing mind. Understanding mental shifts. As time progresses, you may notice your loved one's mind doesn't work the way it used to. These changes can be confusing and even frightening, but they follow a natural pattern. The mind, like the body, begins preparing for transition in its own way. Common changes you might observe. Time becomes fluid. They may think it's morning at midnight, could confuse today with decades ago, often lose track of how long you've been visiting people from the past. Return, they might speak to long-gone relatives, could prepare for events from their youth, sometimes wait for parents who passed years ago. Reality blends, dreams and waking life overlap, may tell stories that mix memories, often see things others don't. Why this happens: the brain, like an old radio, begins receiving signals from different frequencies. Memory circuits that were separate start connecting in new ways. This isn't dementia progressing, it's the mind's natural reorganization as it prepares to let go. How to respond with compassion: enter their world, don't correct or argue about reality. If they mention seeing deceased loved ones, ask what they're saying, join conversations about the past without fact-checking, create anchors, keep a familiar object in their hands, play music from their youth, maintain simple routines when possible, watch for meaningful patterns many experience. Life review, process repeated. Stories often contain important messages, sudden clarity may come and go. Beautiful truth: what looks like confusion is often the mind's way of revisiting, releasing, and reconciling. When they speak to invisible visitors, they may be receiving comfort we cannot see. When they mistake you for someone else, they're often connecting with love that transcends time. Next, we'll discuss the breathing changes that often signal the final days, and how to provide comfort when words are no longer enough. Part 6, the language of breath. Understanding final days. When words fade, breathing speaks. The rhythm of each breath becomes its own language, telling stories of the body's wisdom and the spirit's journey. These changes often unsettle families, but understood properly, they become a sacred part of life's final transition. The breathing changes you may notice, the pause that teaches breaths may stop for 10 to 20 seconds, then restart naturally. This Shane Stokes pattern is the body's energy conservation mode, not painful. Like a swimmer resting between laps, the sound of release, a soft rattle may emerge with each breath caused by relaxed throat muscles, not suffering, eased by slight head elevation or turning sideways. The last burst of clarity, many experience a surprising surge of energy and awareness, may request favorite foods or recognize distant relatives. This final gift allows for unspoken goodbyes. What the body knows that we don't. Breathing slows from 12 to 15 breaths per minute to just 4-6. The heart follows suit, beating less frequently but more powerfully. Circulation focuses solely on essential organs. How to be present without fear. Comfort measures: damp cloth for dry lips, gentle hand massage, soft music or familiar voices, words that help. We're all here with you, it's okay to rest, you are so loved. Sacred space, lower lights, but don't hide from the process. Keep surroundings familiar, let tears flow without shame. The final lesson: the last breaths often come as softly as autumn leaves falling, not with struggle, but with a quiet completeness. What seems like absence to us is simply the body's final act of release, perfected over a lifetime of breathing. That in our final section, we'll discuss how to care for yourself when the journey ends, because grief is simply love with nowhere else to go. Part 7. When the journey changes, caring for yourself after goodbye. The room feels different now. The quiet where there was once breath. The empty chair where hands once waited to hold yours. This is when you realize, grief isn't about moving on, it's about learning how to carry love forward. What no one tells you about early grief: the exhaustion that surprises you. Your body has been running on caregiver adrenaline for months. Simple tasks may feel impossible. This is normal. Your immune system is vulnerable. Rest isn't optional. The guilt that lies: I should have done more, you did enough, I didn't say the right things. Your presence was the gift. I'm relieved, and that's wrong. Relief is part of love's honesty. The memories that come in waves, certain smells, songs, or times of day will ambush you. Dreams may be vivid and confusing. Their favorite coffee mug will hold more than coffee now. Practical survival tools: heavy checkmark, the 10-minute rule when overwhelmed. I only have to get through the next 10 minutes. Heavy checkmark, grief's timeline: there's no should. Some days you'll function, others you'll forget how to use the microwave. Heavy checkmark, the permission slip: write down what you need to give yourself permission for. To cry in the cereal aisle, to keep their shampoo bottle, to laugh again when others don't understand. People will say clumsy things with good intentions. Many disappear after the funeral. It's about their discomfort, not your worth. The ones who matter will simply say, tell me what you need. The unexpected gifts you'll develop: grandparent vision, noticing small beauties they would have pointed out. A perfect tomato, a child's laughter. Your hands remember their wisdom. One day you'll make their pie crust or fix something their way without thinking. The love transforms but never leaves. Grief is love's natural continuation. The relationship changes form but not meaning. Where to put all this love now? Plant something that blooms on their birthday. Tell their stories to someone too young to remember. When you're ready, extend the kindness they taught you to others. Walking this path, final truth: you didn't just witness an ending, you participated in the sacred human work of accompanying someone home. That changes you forever. And that's exactly as it should be.